Good morning. Well, here it is, Thursday morning, and I got something I want to get off my chest. I want to talk about it. Um, you know, Kelli Stewart has blocked me so many times. Well, now she just blocked me for the third time, and she can't handle a real debate. Uh, lively debate's good. Controversy is good. You know, Jesus sought out this Sadducees and Pharisees to have controversy with them, to debate them, to bring out the truth. And I'll tell you right now, anybody that will block you because they run out of substance has just revealed themselves that they can't handle the truth. She made comments like how much she didn't trust me for many, 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 many reasons. I'm like, let's hear them. I want to hear them because I've heard some of them before, and she has lied, flat out lied. So, anyhow, I trust everyone initially. I embrace everybody because we got to have unity, and that's how you get things done. That's how you sway public opinion. So, she started this stuff with me, and I guess others, some time ago. I've ignored it, for the sake of unity. It actually got started, from what I understand, way back up in Portland, Oregon, when I was up there testifying and protesting. That's just secondhand information, okay? So I take all that with a grain of salt. But when it came down to Southern Nevada, then she openly started to undermine me, criticize me, and lie about me. I'll tell you one right now is when the Camp Liberty got started, I was interviewed by a local reporter. And one of the things I wanted them to understand, because I'd had many phone calls from different militia groups across this country. I am an honorary, or was, last time I checked, it's been a while, but honorary member of 7 militias. I was getting phone calls wanting to know if they should come out. That's even before they really started torturing Ammon and Ryan Bundy and some of the others. But in this interview, I mentioned the fact that I was an honorary member of 7 militias, and that they had been in contact with me and wanting to know if there's anything that they should do. Now, I would assume very strongly that these militias, which some of them were at the Bundy standoff, 2 of the major ones were there at the Bundy standoff, and they're very professional, and they don't mess around. And I knew if they came out, they were going to come out with long guns, and they were going to do, and I have no problem with that. I kind of wanted them to come out, but I had to look at the situation and make an evaluation. Okay, and we had quite a few people out there that were doing a good job protesting. And at the time, I really didn't see any reason to have armed militia out there with long guns. I thought about it myself, but I just didn't see any reason for it. And I wanted the local law enforcement and those at the prison to understand that they were treading on some really thin ice. So that's what I basically said. Kelli, the next day, she put something out on Facebook, completely turns it around what I was saying, okay? Saying that I was calling for the militia to come out, okay? Now I will say this, had they harmed, killed, or really harmed, because they did harm, but let's say they had killed or seriously injured some of our patriots or the Bundys that were there, I would have flat told them to get out there now, okay? And I as much told the guard that when I ran out there when Ammon had been in that shower stall for 13 hours. I got in the face of their security. I didn't cross the line, but I got right in their face and told them what was going to happen if anything happened to those men. But anyhow, there you go. Then there was another instance where there was a father-son that went out there, and they're openly Nazis. They're wearing Nazi uniforms, and I kind of thought they were humorous, actually. And I was the first one, in fact, I think I was the only one to address them and talk to them. And here's my approach on things like that. You know, everybody has a right to be heard. Everybody has a right to go out on public property and petition or protest, whatever. And so now, of course, I'm totally 180 degrees at odds with these type of people. Okay, they got their own agenda. My agenda was to get my brothers and sisters out of prison. All right, these guys got a completely different agenda. You know, they just want to create problems. So I talked to the one guy for, God, it could have been as long as 2 hours. And I just humored him mostly. I didn't want to have a controversy with somebody like that. I just really wanted to leave. But, you know, I don't have any authority, nobody does, to tell me, well, you got to get out of here. Okay? So the next best approach is just to humor them, talk to them, you know, maybe educate them. Okay? So anyhow, they leave. And I guess they came back when I wasn't there, and Kelli Stewart told them, you got to leave. Okay? Now, I wasn't even aware of that. And the next day, the next morning, Kelli Stewart calls a big meeting with everybody. Now, we got a good 50 people there. And I would think even more than that. I don't recall. Shut up, bird. I'm going to have to catch him, turn him loose. But anyhow, so she calls this big meeting. And we're like, everybody's like, well, where does Kelli get the authority to call this big meeting? And she gets up there and tells all the men that they got to grow some balls. Wow. You're talking about being divisive, creating division. And then she goes on and says that she, a woman, had to tell these men that they had to leave, to get out. And then I piped up. I said, Kelli, you have no right to tell anybody to leave, to get out. And of course, she backed down, but she backed down in front of everybody, changed her tone. But I think that was the beginning of an all-out attack and all-out assault on me. So little by little, I keep catching when people tell me, well, she said this about you, said that about you. She has alluded very strongly that I was an informant, or even worse, FBI agent. Where did she come off with this crap? I have no idea. And I've never aggressively gone after Kelli. And this is the closest I'll ever come to that. So this morning she puts out an ignorant post, very ignorant post, that all those militias, people supporting militias, you can go and look at it yourself. Constitutional sheriffs, just zip it. Wow. Who died and made her the boss? Wow. You know, the militia is a constitutional right. It's mentioned 4 times in the Constitution of the United States. We need all the constitutional sheriffs that we can find, that we can muster up. And she's telling us to zip it? That's one of the few avenues we have of taking this country back, is with constitutional sheriffs and with the militia. So, anyhow, we got in a lively debate there. And rather than keep it to the issue, she immediately attacks me personally. Okay? Character assassination. But she just says, I know many, many, many things about you. And that's why I don't trust you. Well, Kelli, let's put them out. Let's hear them. I want to hear them because you're not very trustworthy. I've caught you in lies before, and I've seen some of the other things you said about me, and I've never reacted in kind. I've always stuck to the issues. But this is just taken a little bit too far. Now I will act in kind. Kelli, you have done more to divide this community than probably any other single person. I personally believe you have conned people into your perspective, your really twisted perspective about everything. A lot of it I know revolves around the immigration and naturalization, which, hey, face it, it's in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4. And you can throw 9 in there too. Face it, there it is. Get over it. And if you really think we're going to let these people like MS-13 and anybody else come into this country without being vetted? I mean, we just had 8 young people here, Southern Nevada, tortured horribly and their hearts cut out. They were murdered. Okay, you live up there wherever in Washington, and you're going to tell us how we need to run our sovereign state? Get over it. You're not going to tell us how to run our sovereign state. And anybody else, too. I was born and raised here. I got 5 generations here. Okay? I've seen this valley change. The dynamics, the geodynamics of this valley change over the years. And I am not a bigoted, prejudiced person, but I do know what I see. And I have seen illegals come into this state and vote as a block. And now we're a blue state. And they're the ones that kept Harry Reid in all these years. Okay? So there are some very serious issues when you have people come to this country, have no idea the principles that made this country great, the Constitution of the United States, and they come in here, and I mean, I've sat down there and I've watched where the giveaway programs, okay? You come into this country, immediately they get on welfare. Okay, everybody says, oh, they're hard working. Yes, many of them are hard working. But I'm going to tell you what, the majority come in here for the benefits. Okay, they get free Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, food stamps, et cetera, et cetera. Well, who the hell do you think they're going to vote for? They're going to vote for anybody, any liberal, Democrat, socialist, communist that's going to give them freebies. How hard is that to understand? Okay? So, Kelli, you know what? Go take care of your own state first. And maybe, if you grow a brain, we'll listen to any things that you've got to say. Okay? So, anyhow, that's it. Thank you. God bless everybody.